guys, Fula coming to you with another video. This is not going to be a commentary video. This is just going to be a video, okay? I want to say something, and I hate to say this, but best believe this is coming and it's happening as we speak right now. I know as men, and I'm especially speaking to my Muslim comrades, I know as men, we're going to have likes and desires, and we're going to have needs and wants, and we're going to have physical desires as well. Everybody knows this. We know this is just how it goes. You know? The thing is, you're going to have to curtail that, and you're going to have to curtail it really quickly. Because I didn't do commentary on it because it's happening at such a rapid rate. But women are really trying to defame characters of men just by default. I really think that the modern Western woman does not want a man to be at peace. I also think that they don't want to be his peace. I really believe that they don't even want to see a Western man happy. It's not in their nature to even want to see him happy. Meaning that if he's doing his thing and, she doesn't even have to know him, she still is mad at the fact that, this guy is happy. She's still upset at the fact that this guy is living his life. It's gotten to that point. And I want to say something about this. There have been, within this past week alone, there have been at least 3 videos with women at the gym trying to frame dudes for not even staring, not even getting googly-eyed, okay? Just taking a glance, okay? Just taking a glance, because by nature, and we even have this in our tradition, that the first glance ain't your fault. You're just doing what's in your manly nature, and that's the book. There's a difference between glancing, and there's a difference between staring. I do admit that some people do stare. Some guys get googly-eyed, some guys do stare. I admit that, okay? But if a guy is just glancing, these women are now trying to set him up for failure. These women are now trying to pull out trying to pull out their TikToks and saying, "Oh, this guy was staring at me. Oh, this guy was being a creep to me. Oh, this guy." And so what I'm getting at is that, and this is just my opinion, and people are going to call me sexist. People are going to call me a misogynist. I don't give a crap. I'm all of the above. If what I'm about to say is misogynistic, is sexist, then I'm all of the above then. I'm all of the above. In Islam, when men and women enter the mosque, there is most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, there's an entrance for the men, and there's also an entrance for the women. The women sit in a separate place where a man can focus on what needs to be done. Sometimes the women sit in the back of the mosque. Sometimes the men or the women sit on top of the mosque. And there's a loudspeaker in which allows the women to take in the lessons in which are being taught. The thing is, the women are not sitting together with the men. And they, and this formula works, okay? Now, outside of the mosque, I don't know what happens, but you rarely hear about any scandal, okay? You rarely hear about any scandal. You don't hear about women falsely accusing any men. But the reason why I mentioned this trend on the gym with these women is, number one, these women don't even work out. They go to the gym for just that. It's attention. A lot of these women who go to the gym are one soda pop away from being morbidly obese. Because the thing is about the gym can only do so much. What you do outside the gym is more important than what you do in the gym. And what I mean by that is what you eat and the type of things that you put in your body. If you go to the gym, and this is what a lot of women do, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna be honest, I never take any, I don't take any women who go to the gym serious at all, because I especially don't take them serious when they're wearing Converse or Chucks or something, or Vans. Like, who in the hell works out in Vans? Who in the hell works out in Converse? Who does things like that? And another thing too is, if they weren't going for attention, if they weren't like doing it just for attention and validation, then why wouldn't they just like dress modestly? Why wouldn't they just wear something that ain't form fitting? Okay. And the reason why I mentioned the Islamic segregation is because I'm at the point right now where I even got kicked out of the gym because I made a suggestion, because incident happened. I was working with my strength and conditioning coach. I was working with my strength and conditioning coach, and I heard an incident that happened in the gym. And it had to do with the same thing. A woman using the TikTok to try to and this guy was an old guy, and I feel bad for him because he wasn't hip. I really feel bad for him, and mind you, this man was a married man. I really feel bad for him that he wasn't hip to this. But what happened was, this one woman yoga panned out, went right in front of this old man who was working out on the machine, and basically she did a couple of squats, and then she made a TikTok, and then she asked the guy, and the guy was not even looking at her. The guy was actually looking past her. That's the thing. The guy wasn't even looking. He was actually looking past her because he saw someone that he knew. And so he waved at the person that he knew. She was under the assumption that he was waving at her. He wasn't even looking at her. He was looking past her. And then she made an outburst and stuff like that about him being a creep, this, that, and the other. Put it on TikTok and stuff like that. And I went to the gym owner, my strength and conditioning coach. He was pressed. He was pissed. He was very pissed. Unfortunately, me and him got kicked out of the gym because we made a suggestion, and we said to the owner of the gym, like, hey, do you think that maybe like a segregation would be better? Like that, maybe either you can have women on one side of the gym and then have men on one side of the gym, and then switch sides for different workout, or do you think you can have different workout times and stuff like that? And so and so he shook his head, and he's like, and I said that would maybe save you from having a lawsuit, because the thing is that if one of these women does, like, if one of these women does get away with, like, defaming information of character and stuff like that, um then what's going to happen is you may get a lawsuit. Someone may give you a lawsuit. And so what happened was he said the women wouldn't agree with that. And so I said then they should be made to agree with that. And so I think a woman overheard me, and then the owner was shocked that I said that. So I got kicked out of the gym. And my strength and conditioning coach, he agreed with what I was saying. And yeah. So now another incident that happened in the boxing gym a while back was there was this one girl there. She had she was, I guess you can say, curvaceous, as they say. I knew to mind my own business and stay on my grind, and go there to get better and work on my craft. What happened was she was giving a coach choosing signals. She was giving a coach choosing signals, trying to validate, like trying to get validation. Unfortunately, the coach, in Cuba, he's a Cuban coach. In Cuban culture, like, if a girl gives you choosing signals, because I've been to Cuba before, and inshallah I will be going back. If a girl is giving you choosing signals, then she's giving you choosing signals. That's just the bottom line. She's letting you know that, hey, this is, yeah, like, this is what's up, right? So unfortunately for him, the choosing signals that she was giving him were just for validation and for his attention. When he acted on those choosing signals, she got very upset. She threatened to sue the gym. She threatened a lot of things. She got very pissed off at him. She called him a creep. She did everything. She got very, very mad. In order to avoid that backlash, and in order to avoid getting sued, the coach left the gym. And I think as of right now, he went to Florida, Miami, where there's a lot of Cubans there. You know what I mean? That's where I think he is right now. And I wish nothing but the best for him. So I say this to say that it's going to not only happen in the gyms, it's going to spill over into just everyday interactions with them. It's going to spill over every day. It's going to spill over into supermarkets. It's going to spill over into the mall. It's going to spill over into every single interaction with them. And so with that being said, I actually found a poem that gives good advice to us guys. And I know it's hard to do, but we have to do it at this time, because you have to protect yourself. You have to protect your reputation, because here's the thing. If you're working, or even if you're self-employed, like myself, if word gets out that you've been defamed and she's defaming your character, then your business is down the drain, because people are that word spreads quick. Or if you're working in like the corporate jobs, then all it takes is for a social media, your one social media post away from getting fired for something that maybe you're being accused of, but it's not true. So I say this to say that it's really high tide for us. Okay. So what, I'm going to say this. Okay. And many people don't agree, but I adhere to what, or let's just say I try to. Yes. I'm going to use that word. I try to adhere to what we call tasawwuf, which is spiritual purification, which is Teskia al nafs, which means purification of the self, purification of the soul. I try my best to adhere to this under the circumstances that we live in. Many great men who I have found examples in, who I have found uh, good advice in, who have like shaped my world outlook, have practiced this science. The likes of Sheikh Uthman Dan Fodio, Rahmatullah alayh, the likes of Abu Hassan al Shadili, Rahmatullah alayh, the likes of Abdul Qadir Jilani, Rahmatullah alayh, the likes of Al Hajj Umar Tal, Rahmatullah alayh, the likes of Ahmed Al Tijani, Rahmatullah alayh, the likes of Shehu Uthman Dan Fodio, Rahmatullah alayh, the likes of Abdul Qadir Al Jazairi, Rahmatullah alayh, the likes of the likes of Imam Shamil and Sheikh Mansour Al Mansur, Rahmatullah alayh. Now, keep in mind these men practiced that spiritual purification, but also they were real men, meaning they knew how to fight, meaning they were like athletically built, meaning that they fought against colonizers, meaning that they were in every word of the definition, like every sense of like fighters, every sense of like, I guess you can say, guerrillas. Okay, but they were fighting for the right cause. They weren't fighting in a way. They weren't fighting like in the way that Keisha would want them to fight. They were actually fighting for something bigger. They weren't, most of the time they weren't fighting each other, put it that way, you know like Keisha likes dudes to shoot. Keisha likes uh, one black dude to kill another black dude. She gets off on that, you know what I mean. But there was another sage by the name of Sheikh Ahmadu Bamba, in which we call Serene Tuba, who wrote this poem. And I'm going to give you a couple of lines from this poem, and this will hopefully help you in what we're dealing with, and what we're going to be dealing with down the line. So, in this poem is translated from the Arabic. It says that God raises his servant who shows patience. So number one, we got to be patient in the fact that we're behind enemy lines. This is the gender war is a reality, and it seems like when we get a foot up in the gender war, they find a way to try to trump us. So the best thing to do is show patience in this matter. Now, you must, and I'm only talking to the Muslim cadres, but if non-Muslim cadres can take something from this, hey, take what you need and use it, because this is for you too. Don't think I want to see you hemmed up in a situation for something that you basically did not do. So, it says, fear God and follow his religion, which is Islam. Okay, we got to do that in the West. It's probably all we have as of now. In terms of a moral standard, it's pretty much all we have. Now, here's the one. Here's two lines. No, there's three lines. There's three lines, okay? And I'm going to end this on this note. It says, Fear God. Oh, okay, I read that. For he who disobeys God or does harm to others will never hold knowledge. Keep yourself separate from the opposite sex, young or old, for approaching them will only lead you to contempt, disobedience, and destruction. Booyah! So, if one of the most holiest men wrote that, then who are we? Who are we then? Where do we stand? If a holy man wrote that, now, granted, the women at his time were way more pious, and they were raised to be women. They were raised to be wives. They were raised to be also scholars in the highest caliber. And he married. Don't get it twisted. He married. He had. As a matter of fact, without giving into any detail, he had hella kids. And just to let you know, the guys that I named, they also had kids. So it's not like they pledged the oath of celibacy. No, they were married. They lived life. They did what was in their nature. Now, thing is about these women is they're not in their natural disposition. Okay, and I don't know how long it's going to take for them to be in their natural disposition. It's going to take a while. Okay, so as men, all you can do is take that advice. I'm advising you, and I'm reminding myself of this too. Do not approach these women. Okay. Also, what I want to say, I hate to say this, but if you can, stay as far as away from the women as possible. For your safety, for your welfare, and your well-being, because I know it's coming. Okay? I know for a fact that it's going to spill out the gym, and it's going to run into just interactions where maybe you may even brush a woman on accident, and she's going to think something that you did something. Because here's what happens with the sisterhood and this gynocracy. When one thing catches fire, when one of them does something, and it gets a lot of views, and it gets a lot of attention, good or bad, the next one is going to do it too. And so what happens is that the gym videos is now happening. There has not been one single solitary time where a woman has just said, you know what, let me just handle this problem without filming it. Nobody needs to see all of this. 99% of the time they're going to film it and put it on social media. So this is why I'm telling you guys, it's high time right now. Put on your armor. And your bulletproof vest is just to ignore them, not approach them, not validate them. And I hate to say it. I really hate to say this. I really, really hate to say this. I don't want to say this. But if she does give you choosing signals, and if she initiates it to a point where she's all over you, by all means, okay? Now, I'm not trying to push fornication. Don't think I'm trying to push fornication, but the ball's in your court then, okay? That's what I mean. The ball's in your court. Do what you want, right? It's in your court. But if she ain't giving you no choosing signals, and it's just not looking, it's looking kind of bleak for you, I'm not suggesting sinning, but don't think I'm trying to suggest sinning, okay? It's not what I'm trying to do. It's just that at the time that we're living in, sometimes you have to do the lesser evil, unfortunately. So if that's the case, like, and you feel the urge, either fast, right? Or try your very, very best to get married to someone that is from a different culture that would be honored to marry you. But um if not, you may need to just like get one off just to like relieve yourself, right? Now, in my school of thought, in Imam Malik is prohibited. You know, there's a minority opinion that allows it. It's a minority though. And other ones, I don't know. I'm not quite sure. But your freedom, your reputation, your money is more important than your pleasure. Okay? It's more important than your life. Or it's more important than your life is more important than your pleasure as well. Meaning that it's going to get to a point where violence will probably ensue from these interactions. Because it just seems like there's more gym videos coming up, and there's more videos outside the gym which are coming up. So with that being said, I'm going to end this, and I'm going to just say, may God protect us all. Hula signing out. I'm John Armour.